Let's talk about David Fincher's newest film, The Killer. The Killer stars Michael Fassbender, who plays the killer, who works for an agency as an assassin, which we all know how those agencies work. And one day on the job, he misses. He misses the shot. He misses his mark for some unknown reason, which gets explored in the movie. And what happens next is insurance policy, which implicates that he must get killed. The movie relies a lot in narration, and I'm not always a big fan of narration, but the narration that Michael Fassbender delivers is incredible. It just hooks you in. The narration of this character really hooks you in, and I really enjoy that, especially in those first 30 minutes of that movie. The first 30 minutes of the movie are something that I can just describe as anxiety-filled, intense, suspenseful. I think they're the best 30 minutes of the whole film. And I feel like if the movie was like those 30 minutes, the way that it builds that tension and then BAM! It hits you with it. I think if the movie kept that suspense throughout the whole film, it would have been a 5-star for me. I don't think the movie was able to do that due to the lack of an antagonist. Maybe he is his own antagonist. It's a personal battle. But at the same time, for me, it kind of like throughout the whole movie, I was hoping they'd be like, not a big bad guy. It's just sometimes you need other antagonists in order to showcase the personal battle the main character is facing. And that is not to say that this movie doesn't showcase that. It does showcase it. You really do see the killer's internal struggle, which I think was very well crafted and delivered well by Michael Fassbender, who puts in an incredible performance. I just think due to the lack of a powerful antagonist, that's a better word for it, or an antagonist with great presence on screen, whenever he kind of overcame adversity, it just felt like it just happened. It never felt huge like those first 30 minutes. Because those 30 minutes, we understood how important it was for him to hit the mark. And then afterwards, the stakes don't really show. And that's because an antagonist is what like raises the stakes up, right? The stakes kind of stayed similarly on the same level. Which I wish that, you know, when a movie, especially like an action thriller movie, it's supposed to raise the stakes as we know more about the world, especially when the star of the movie is the killer. I think John Wick does an incredible job at that. And in here, the stakes never feel raised. They for a moment they are, but then they don't continue to get raised, and that causes the movie to have a very mellow climax. That's really the only flaw of this movie. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I think David Fincher directed a great movie with an aesthetic that I'm always down for. I think Michael Fassbender did an incredible job at just his body language when he wasn't talking and the narration he had. And also, one thing that I kind of found funny in this movie and that I enjoyed was that the killer is a super fan of the Smiths. Like, if you're a Smiths fan, I think you might enjoy this movie a lot because there's like a bunch of Smiths songs throughout the movie. Like the Killer's playlist is full of Smiths songs. That's the only thing he hears. So if you're a Smiths fan, you're gonna enjoy this. I did enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed it. I just wish this movie had a stronger antagonist. That's really my only concern about it. Otherwise, great performances throughout this whole film. I think The Killer is a fun movie to put on, especially if you're a fan of Fincher, thrillers, suspenseful movies, or you're a fan of The Smiths.